What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, which means we got the NFL up tonight. We got Buccaneers taking on the Eagles. Before we jump into today's picks, I just want to throw it out there. If anybody's looking for year-long fantasy basketball leagues, I'll be posting about that later. Hit me up and let's get those scheduled. All right, back to the subject at hand, though, which is going to be the NFL game of the, well, not the game of the week, but the NFL game tonight. Eagles, Bucs. We got Tom Brady. We got Jalen Hurts. We got a collection of really, really good players throughout Tampa. We got the Buccaneers coming in about a 7-point favorite, been on a nice winning streak on NFL lately over here. So let's keep it going and get into that bad boy tonight. All right, guys, if you can, click that thumbs up button. You can see who made the cover today. It's this Tom Brady guy. I'm sure most of you heard of him. Many will call him the GOAT, and with his resume, that is really, really difficult to dispute. Even me, as somebody who's made cases against it in the past, I don't even know how you can dispute it at this point. The resume is too good, and he is still playing at a very high level with obviously a collection of really good talent around him that makes it, a little bit easier, but he's still getting it done at an old age, which I kind of like. Becoming a bigger and bigger Brady fan since he left New England, and I like watching fellow old men, give it to the rest of the league like this. So NFL packages for sale still, guys. It is up on the website, $50 rebate for all signups today, which means you get the rest of the season for only $75. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it, and let's go right back to this old man that we just mentioned, Tom Brady. How do you not play him tonight? I don't know how you could get around this one. Both quarterbacks tonight look like almost guys you can't get away from. Even if you want to be maybe different and captain somebody else, as the majority of the captain, rosterings are going to go to Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts. I don't know what your other option is but to play Tom Brady right here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. This is as Occam's razor kiss play of the day as you're going to get. He's going to be monster chalk. And the two captains that most people are going to use are going to be Mr. Brady right here or Jalen Hurts. Hurts has got 20-plus in every game this year. We know you literally just cannot run on Tampa Bay. It is a really, really sound bet to think that Jalen Hurts is the leading rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. While the efficiency may not necessarily be pretty, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's very likely that DK points are going to be there, whether that comes in a slightly competitive game or if Tampa Bay rolls and Hurts gets garbage time points. One way or the other, you got to feel pretty good that Jalen Hurts is going to have at least a decent day. So as per most showdowns, we start with the quarterbacks. It is the tough part about playing GPPs in these showdowns is, we can get different, but it almost feels like a lot of times you're starting with just 4 spots because it's really hard to get away from the quarterbacks. Next up, there's another guy who's going to be very difficult to get away from tonight, and that's going to be tight end Zach Ertz, the Philadelphia Eagles. I know we had mentioned him last week as a potential paydown option. He was not good, but he still had 6 targets. And tonight, they go into the game with no Dallas Goedert. Ertz is maybe not the guy competing with Kelsey and Kittle like he once was for best tight end in the game. He's maybe not that good anymore, but he's still a decent player. So there's still some talent here. Philly's going to be throwing in a lot. There should just be a ton of pass attempts on that side of the ball tonight. And it's feasible to think Zach Ertz has 10 targets tonight at a very, very doable price tag. So I expect him to be wildly popular this evening. So any lineup I said is going to start with the quarterbacks and Zach Ertz. Next up, let's move over to the wide receiver position from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So quite frankly, if you're trying to pick a favorite guy from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's a tough one to do. You can do all the research into cornerback matchups you want, but they move these 3 dudes around. They're all still really good. It kind of comes down to who catches the touchdowns. And I'll just go with AB because for my money, he's still really, really good. Maybe not the force that he was a few years ago when he was the number 1 wide receiver in the league, but he's still a really good player. There's a clear connection here with Tom Brady, but this one comes down to a very, very keep it simple, stupid method, which is he's the cheapest one. He allows you to get the best players into your lineup if you go with him versus Godwin or Mike Evans. And you're probably going to want at least one of those dudes in your lineup. So I'm looking at Antonio Brown tonight. I think at the end of the day, Evans is currently projected for more buyers than Antonio Brown, but I think Brown might end up being the most popular wide receiver of the group simply because he's the cheapest and becomes the easiest to build lineups with him. However, going with Evans over Brown, Evans is still going to be pretty darn popular. Why? Because he's Mike Evans on a two-team slate. So, yeah, he's going to get buyers. So you're not sneaking up on anybody by going with Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. So when I build one lineup for these showdowns, I just go with what is the best player to me. And the best player per dollar is Antonio Brown because these three guys are really even. Right now, Evans averages slightly more fantasy points per game than Antonio Brown. And those guys are a little ahead of Chris Godwin. But I think we all know at the end of the year, like, there's a lot of season left. Godwin could be number one. And the whole point of that is these three guys are very, very even. So give me the cheapest one. That's simply the reason I'm making the decision right there. Last up, let's talk about a Philadelphia Eagles kind of sleeper of the night. So that's Jack Stoll. Set to serve as the number 2 tight end tonight. This guy has 0 points on the season. So I do think this is going to allow you to use him as a very, very low-owned play tonight. And for those of you who really participate in the GPPs on here, that's a nice thing. And for those of you who play cash games, if this allows you to get the 5 players you really want, why not take a chance a guy in the minimum? So he's got no stats this year, but he is the number 2 tight end tonight. No Dallas Goedert, which means Philly, who runs enough 2 tight end sites, this guy could get, I don't know, maybe he runs 10 routes tonight. Who knows, right? Like, what do you need to pay off the salary? 1 catch. 1 catch, 9 yards, and you're paying off his salary. What if he gets a play action pass down in the red zone? You know he's not the number 1 focus of the defense. Like, he could legit have one of those situations where he's just standing there wide open in the end zone when they're calling play action from, 3rd and 1 for, 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line or whatever it might be. So again, he's kind of my out there call for the night. I don't think he's out there as far as risk goes because he's legit almost no risk at the salary. And it allow you to get 5 really good players into your lineup. So I'm looking at Jack Stoll for very little money as kind of that out there dart throw of the evening. That is what I got for today, fellas. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the station if you're new to it, and if you want the NFL package, it's up on the website. Thank you very much.